It's the Black Real Estate Dialogue. Tune in. Tune in. Tune in. Tune in.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Black Real Estate Dialogue podcast. Before we get into this episode, please make sure you subscribe to the podcast on whichever platform you're listening to this on. Leave us a 5-star rating and review. It helps us out a whole lot to spread this message all over the world. Very, very excited about this episode today. Here with me, we have Alex Edwards out of Boston. Alex, thank you so much for joining us today.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Definitely. So, Alex, really quick, let the audience know who you are and what you do.
Okay. My name is Alex E. Edwards. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts, born and raised. I'm a real estate broker. I have a company in Boston, in Rhode Island, and in Georgia. The entire company consists of about 38 agents. And I've been in real estate for about 16 years. I'm married with 2 children. And yeah.
Definitely. So Alex, the big headline, the thing that stuck out to me that I want to talk about first. So you bought a property for your 2-year-old son. Mm-hmm. Tell us about that. How did that happen? And why did you decide to get him an asset at the age of 2?
So this is great. We starting right there, huh?
Yes, sir.
All right, bet. So history, right? History is extremely important to me. What's going to happen if I'm gone, right? And I've been going back and forth with this with my financial advisor, and he wants me to put my funds in an education account where, I'm not getting charged taxes, but it's for my kids' education. I can't bet on that and trust my children enough to really truly believe that they're going to flip the knowledge that they gain in school into assets. Can't. But what I can do is buy asset and know for sure, as long as I put laws that follows this asset, they will always have an asset. That's what I could promise. I could be long gone, and that's what I could promise, right? So I said, you know what? I'm not paying for school. I'll pay for homes. And I made that decision. And my son was 2. I had an opportunity to buy a home in Everett, Massachusetts. And it was a probate deal. So I got it for a good price. And it's now the best Airbnb in Boston. It's the cottage 1925, and it's for all my sons. And that feels good to say that, right? Now he could use the rent for school.
Yeah.
Cool. You want to use the rent for school? I'm cool with that. But I guarantee you, when you get that diploma, right? That degree, you still getting that rent. Other way around, you get the degree. Okay, cool. What's next? You don't have a house, you get debt to income, you can't go buy a home. Like, what's next? So this is the smartest way, I thought, to start my family wealth.
Definitely. I love that. A lot of times we talk about what's going to happen when we're gone, but I think This is the best of both worlds, because of course he'll still have it when your time on this earth has gone, but you can both enjoy it while you're alive. And of course, while he's alive, and he's just a baby right now. So, I like that it's starting even earlier. It's starting even younger. And I mean, you're in a market that's going up. So who knows what it's going to be like by the time he's 18, by the time he's 20. It's probably going to make money hand over fist.
My mother bought her 3-family for $35,000.
Wow.
Right? Way back when, right? That same 3-family is worth 1.1.
Wow. We need a moment of silence for that.
And so my mom didn't want to be a landlord anymore. And my siblings wanted to sell the home. And I was like, you know what? I'll buy the home and I'll pay y'all out. So I bought that same home just so I could show my kids my bedroom. I just wanted to show my kids my bedroom. So I needed to stay in the family and control that asset so I could tell history to my kids. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted. So I have that asset as well now.
Love that. Love that. Can you tell us more about that? And honestly, I think that's a really hot topic, right? Because, you know, a lot of our family members are getting older, right? People are passing on, or people, you know, maybe they don't want to be in the real estate business. And a lot of times the solution is to sell the property, which, you know, I guess in some cases we can understand. But what are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on selling properties that have been in families for a long time? What's your personal opinion?
All right, I hope you're ready for this. So one, I think it's stupid. I think it's a dumb idea. I mean, you could refinance and take cash out if you need cash. So that's not even the issue, right? If you need the cash, all right, cool, refinance. If you have bad credit, you can't refinance, then you're not good with money. So even when you sell it, you're still gonna be broke. You can have all the money in the world, still be broke, right? So that doesn't work. So I don't think it's a great idea. And then you sell this and someone buys it for $1 million and they don't look like you. You then go yell gentrification. How gentrification start? You have to sell something. You can't sell something and then yell gentrification. You know, if you don't sell anything, it's no gentrification. So I don't think it's a good move at all. I think using real estate in many ways, you could refinance your student loans into real estate and get a better rate. This is a vehicle that you could get tax breaks. It's a no-brainer to keep that particular piece, you know, in your portfolio when it comes to your finances. So I don't think it's a great idea. I would say this though, if your siblings are fighting and there's no solution and this one person is, you know, dealing with everything, then I could see the stress on that, right? If you can't buy your siblings out, I see the stress where some people say, you know, I'm just gonna let it go. And I get that part. But other than that, it don't make no sense. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I got you. Part two of the question. What do you think about people who look like us, who are up there and looking to move on to other things in life, selling their properties? Because the reality of it is there's a good chance, I mean, you can't control who buys it, right? And there's a good chance it may change some things within the community. Is there something else those folks could be doing? Like, instead of selling, if they don't want to manage it or they're moving away, like what are some other ways
meaning
they
if
can do it?
they don't have anybody else, you're saying, to pass it down to?
Yeah.
I mean, so it's tricky, right? As you get older, and God forbid, you know, the older folks go into a nursing home. The nursing home is going to attack, Medicare is going to attack their equity, right? And that's not fair, right? So they're going, and once the equity is drained, now the insurance kick in. Once you know, so if I'm jumping in, if I don't have no one at all, and I'm getting older, and I'm like, you know what, I'm heading that way in a nursing home, then it probably makes sense to sell. But then now you have all this cash, right? So to older folks, it's always smart to start that trust early. Start your trust early. Get that asset out of your name. If anything ever happened, no one could go after your equity. So that's what I'll tell the older folk. Start the trust early. Get everything out your name, but control everything.
Definitely. And speaking of the trust, we had probably just one other guest who went into just trust and his thoughts on it and why it's so important. Could you talk a bit more about that, especially as it pertains to real estate? And the reason being is because people who look like us, this is not information. Most people cannot call somebody in their family and say, hey, how do I do a trust? Should I do a trust? it's probably not on most people's radar. So we'd love to hear what you have to say about it.
I mean, and no one plans for death. That's the crazy thing. And I started planning for mine, and it's just the truth. It's going to happen. It's going to happen in the next 90 years, right? I'm going to be gone in the next 90. But, it's something where I don't want to be embarrassed when I'm gone. I don't want to be embarrassed. I don't want GoFundMe for Alex Edwards, and I think it's extremely important, right? To plan for that day. Now, a will and a trust, I want the difference. So a will give instructions. That's all it is. Instructions. This is who I like. This is for that person, right? But you're still gonna have to see probate court. So that person that you gave the car to, the house to, they still in court, spending money to make sure that the state sees what you actually left the person, right? So it's just instruction based. And then you could put your I love you stuff in your will, right? Now a trust is you don't need the court. It's like it's law, right? So you have the trust, revocable and non-revocable trust, right? And that is law. You don't have to go to court. Look, this is the document. This is I'm the beneficiary. All right, cool. That's it. So a lot of people have both. I think you should have both. Instructions, again, write your letters, whatever you need to do, but the trust is extremely important to avoid a lot of stuff. While you're alive, it protects you, and while you're gone, it protects your family.
Got it. I just had a follow-up question too. Is there a way, do you know if there's a way for people to transfer, let's say you have a property, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you pass it down to your son through a trust without him having to deal with like taxes or anything? Like, does that have to be a purchase, or can you say, hey, I want this to transfer to X person when I'm gone?
Yeah, absolutely. So see, say a trust is a LLC, like a business, right? Like I am the owner, but not the owner. I'm giving the beneficiary that's my son, right? Technically the owner. So again, if I go into a nursing home, I don't have any assets. I don't have any assets. Don't come to me. I don't have any assets in my name. So all that's transfer. You could do it that way. And also you could put your kids on deeds, and they're not responsible for the mortgage if they're on a deed, right? You just putting them on a deed. A deed you could get done in 2 minutes, right? So it's a lot of ways you could transfer or give ownership to your children, to your friends, to your family, to a stranger, instead of selling. Like you could, with a deed and I don't think a lot of people understand the power of just getting your name on a deed. You own a home and you say, Alex, I want you to buy this home. I said, bro, I want to buy your home, but I don't got the down payment right now. This is what's going to happen. But, and you be like, you know what? This is what I want you to do, Alex. I'm going to put you on my deed. And then in 6 months, this refinance. Once you refinance, take all the cash you want, right? You're going to pay me what I want, but you're going to kick me off the deed. Now I skipped the down payment, right? I skipped closing costs, and now I'm my own homeowner. That's simple. You just got to wait that 6 months.
Got it. Hey, we're just getting started and a whole lot of game already.
Yeah.
All right, Alex. So how did you get into real estate? So we know, you purchased a property for your son, you purchased, you took over your mother's home,
Mm-hmm.
and it had to start somewhere. So how did you get into real estate? Where did this idea of real estate come from?
All right. So I was in 10th grade and I took the first time home buyers class in 10th grade.
In 10th grade?
I leave high school, bro, and go to this class. And I don't even know why I was there, but I knew they didn't have an age limit. So I was like, why not? Did it. And then fast forward, I graduate high school. I got a job at Bank of America. And that's where I learned money and was introduced to a mortgage broker. I knew the difference between a loan officer and a mortgage broker, right? But I was going to school for business administration. So we had an assignment, and the professor said, you know what? I want you all go home, buy something, and treat it like a business. And I was like, all right, bet. So, a couple of months came back, said, I bought a home. The professor's like, what? He said, yeah, I bought a home. So, oh my God. So I'm 20 years old. I bought my first investment home, 2-family in Dorchester and in Boston, right? And the professor's going crazy. Professor's going nuts. I was like, I got something else to tell you. He said, you got more? I said, I got more. He said, what it is? I said, this is the last time you're gonna ever see me because I can't pay for school and my mortgage. And that's the last time you ever see me. That's the last time you ever see me. So that's how I got into real estate.
Wow. You got a whole lot to unpack there. So first, 20 years old.
Yep.
Most people that age are not thinking about buying a property.
I should have been buying Jordans. Yep.
Right. So how did 20 years old, how do you even come up with the money? Like, how do you find the deal? Like, how did you put all those pieces together?
All right. So one, I was actually making real good money for my age. I started at 19. I was making real good money at the bank, right? Again, for my age. And I also had another job, right? And so my brother also was supposed to, we had an agreement where we was going to go half on a home. And so, he put up his, I had mine, and mortgage broker. Remember I told you? Mm-hmm. Mortgage broker. So a mortgage broker is like the difference between a bank lender, right? A lender that works for a bank, a loan officer. Loan officer is Gap. You can only buy Gap. If the Gap pants don't fit you, you're screwed. A mortgage broker is Marshalls. If this brand don't fit you, they got another brand and another brand and another brand and another brand. What? You don't got that type of income? We got another product. You don't got that type of credit? We got another product. Oh, your work history? Don't worry about it. We have another product. So that's the difference between the two. So when I figured that out young, it's a no-brainer, right? It's not what products. It's not finding a bank with good products. It's finding a bank that have products to fit me. And that's a mortgage broker. And that's, I think, where everyone sleeps on, right? So mortgage broker hooked me up with a bad loan. It was horrible. It was adjustable rate. I'm 20 years old and, I'm excited to buy this house. And I buy the house, my brother's like, yeah, I can't do this with you, right? So now I lost my partner. I buy a house, I have adjustable rate. Now I'm broke at this point. Like the rate went from like $2,300 to like $3,200, right? This is when this bad rates was out, right? So I got another job. Like I said, I completely dropped out of school and spent every credit card I could possibly spend on renovating one of the units to get someone in there ASAP. That didn't help. Then I looked into bankruptcy. And it was part of, it's like, I was in this time of my life, I had to decide, am I eating or am I buying gas? That's how bad it was, right? But honestly, I never thought about selling the home. We just got to figure this out. Back against the wall. So I said, you know what? I'm going to file bankruptcy. I'm going to get rid of the junior loan. I'm going to then get a loan modification, right? And a loan modification is just when they put your debt to the back, right? Because my house was upside down at the point. I owed like $3 89 and the house was worth like 160, right? So I did the loan modification, and when I did that, ever since I had a fixed rate, that particular home is doing very well, very well financially, and I got jumped right back in the game and just started buying more homes once I understood and matured in the industry.
Got it. Got it. What year was that?
Which year?
What year was that you bought that property? The first
In
one.
06.
Got it.
I bought it April 06.
I had a
So
feeling.
08 came.
Yes. That's
09 came.
yes.
It was done deal for me. So it was again, and then, and mind you, so I bought it at 20. I had a job until 23, where, you know, I quit my job at 23. I thought I was smarter than my boss, but my boss was smarter than me because obviously he my boss, right? So I quit my job, and I remember like this in my life, I didn't know what was next. It was the first time I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I ran to my mom. She was at Walgreens, and I'm crying. And I said, Mom, this is what happened. And she said, I never worried about you, and I'm not going to start worrying about you today. And I think that's all I needed to hear. I never went back to a job a day in my life. 23 was the last time I had a boss. I'm 36 now, you know, and that's, you know, a lot of properties later, you know, so it was one of those decisions. I think everything just happened for a reason. Real estate made my life beautiful, allowed me to see the world, you know, so yeah.
Definitely. Couple things that we gotta unpack, man. So a lot of people did not make it out of that financial crisis, and when mortgages are all a lot of people didn't make it out. A lot of people lost their homes. A lot of people lost everything. And you know, I was watching a documentary recently, and there was a woman who, it was a documentary from back then. There's a woman who, you know, got a bad loan. She was trying to get a loan modification. It just didn't work out for her. So how did that work out for you? I mean, it must have.
It was.
Yeah.
It worked out phenomenal.
Yeah. Well, I guess how did you find out that that was even an option instead of just saying, you know, I got to give up the house?
I want to tell you, like, this is what is a good thing and a bad thing about me. When my back against the wall, I want to perform like MJ on his best night. When my back isn't against the wall, it's like, you know, but you know, and that's something I work on constantly to fix. But my back was against the wall. I was looking up everything I could find. I was just online. So I looked at loan modification. It was a nonprofit near my home that did it for free. I'm like, all right, I need to make this happen. And that loan officer, that person that worked there, she really like changed my life. Like if I didn't get that modification, I don't know where I would be, you know. Bankruptcy, I got rid of the junior loan because a lot of back in the days, if you watch that documentary, they gave you a second loan. That's how a lot of people was qualifying for these homes, right? So the bankruptcy took away $89,000, right? Wow. And remember, now I'm left with $300,000, right? So the modification now brought my loan down to that one and some change, like I think it was like 170, right? So I'm paying mortgage on 170. So I went from $3,100 to $1,000.
Wow. How did it feel when it finally got back down to like something to what it should have been? How did you feel?
Lorraine, that's her name. I was like, what's her name? Lorraine Rogers. I bought Lorraine Rogers something to relax, you know, with a nice expensive bottle. And it just emotional. And so what I did, I took $600 and I ran a commercial to let everyone know that Lorraine could help. Lorraine could get everyone a so that summer I saved probably like 35 homes.
Wow.
That summer. Just simple. I didn't get paid, but it was like, because I was so pissed off that they couldn't advertise because they didn't have a budget. But you see everybody losing home. No one could have took $600. It was like, you know what? Let's go save some homes. It was all word of mouth or online.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I felt great.
Wow. So you survived the financial crisis. You're in your early 20s, and you got to save your home, thankfully. What happens next? Like you mentioned that at 23, you left your job. So talk to us about how things progressed real estate wise from that point on.
All right. So what happened? So I left my job and then I became a real estate agent. So I became a real estate agent when everyone was leaving. Right. So the market's dead. I'm out of here. I need to go get a job, whatever. So I was like, you know what? Let me just become a real estate agent. Became a real estate agent, and was doing real good. Marketing, it was great. It was Alex E. Edwards for your real estate agent. I wanted to market it like a politician. So it's Alex E. Edwards for your real estate agent. And that was just on the radio. That was everywhere you could just find Alex E. Edwards for your real estate agent. And so what I did, marketing was just everything just came together and I was doing real good. And my broker hired another agent, right? And my broker gave this agent a higher percentage than mine. Like I was just like, whoa, I can't believe this. I can't believe it. And I was like, you know what? I want the same percentage as this person because I deserve it because I'm your number one guy. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to go get my broker license and then get that percentage. And one of my friends was like, yo, why get 90% when you could get 100? And I was like, you're right. Like I'm worrying about the next man pocket, the next man money. What's wrong with me? Like, Alex, worry about who you are and what you want to bring to this world. So I studied my butt off and I became a broker, a real estate broker. Now, you know what? I met my girlfriend at the time, and we was getting serious, right? And it looked like we was heading to marriage. And she wanted to get married, and I said, you want to get married? I need you to get a mortgage, right? I need you to get a mortgage. And my girlfriend at the time, she got that mortgage. So now we dating, we both have homes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, we use these homes to pay for our wedding, right? So our tenants pay for our wedding. It wasn't invited. Right? I thought that was pretty cool. And then we bought a flip, and then we bought an investment, and then we bought another investment. Then we bought 2 flips. Then it just boom, got a brokerage. Went from myself in the basement to almost 40 agents in a span of about 5 years.
Wow. A whole lot to unpack. And before we do that, I'm noticing something. I'm noticing that you bet on yourself and you're not afraid from a young age to bet on yourself and to go against the status quo. And, it's to telling the professor, look, this was the assignment. I bought a property, right? You're not going to see me again. And he didn't.
Nope.
Then 23, leaving your job. And, perhaps at that time in hindsight, maybe you're like, man, I was kind of arrogant, but it worked out for you.
Yeah.
And, even with the home, right? Most people, everybody knows someone who was like, put their hands up, I got to get rid of the house, but you endlessly researched what was possible. So that's a trend that I'm picking up. And so it's not surprising where you ended up, given that you have that kind of attitude.
yeah. And like I said, and also the trend was every time I'm back against the wall, it's like I become this genius like this person is full of genius, right? And I just want that to be every day. Like I want to do cool stuff every day. I want to quit my job every day, you know. But yeah, I know I bet on myself. I'm confident. I love who I am. You know, all day. And that's mindset is important. I was making these moves with a bad mindset. I didn't have confidence, or I had low self-esteem when I was making all these moves. But my actions had a lot of confidence. That's crazy, right? It's usually the other way around. I was the scared young man making powerful moves and making decisions for my own life while being scared. Like I look back at that, was man, you one crazy dude, right? You're 23 talking about, yeah, I'm not working anymore. Think about that. Nope, I have a home, not working anymore. 23, who cares? Right? And then now you have to bet on yourself. Right? And then you see checks like, wait a minute. This is what they've been hiding from us. Like they tell us to go to school for what? Nah, this don't make sense. Right? And then you understand real estate, and you understand all the funds you could actually make. Like my first flip, I made more than I made at the bank for probably 4 years.
Wow.
So I'm like, all right, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. What else is out there for me? Right? You know, what else is out there? So here we are.
Definitely. The last thing I forgot to mention was then you left the brokerage you were at, studied to get your license, and started your own brokerage.
Okay.
And I want to make sure we get into that. So, can you, for those who don't know, like everybody knows what a real estate agent is, right? But can you explain like what is a real estate broker?
Yeah. So a real estate broker. So you have to be a real estate agent to change the rules. I want to say for 3 years. And then you could become a real estate broker. And a real estate broker and real estate agent have to work underneath a real estate broker, right? And a real estate broker usually manage the office. This is the person you go to if you need help with anything, and then really like the manager. That's a real estate broker.
Got it. And so, what was it like for you starting your own brokerage? Like, how did you get people to want to work with you and work under you?
I love it. So again, I'm a marketing genius. So I put this big logo in my office, right? And so every time anybody will come to my office, they have to take a picture in front of the logo. And then I'll sit there and tag them. Now I'm spreading the logo, my company, with these people coming in my office. And then my videos, if you even want to go on my Instagram, it's just fun, right? About real estate. And I'm telling the truth. I'm being vulnerable. I'm being a real person. So they see Alex, the real estate broker. They see Alex, the sensitive guy. They see Alex, the man that's telling his truth or embarrassing himself. Some will think it's embarrassing. Is this the truth? So I'm like, man. And they see courage. A lot of people, not 95% of the world will follow that 5%. Why? Because they have courage. This 5% is like, it's something or a shade you want to be or have. You want to have a piece of them some way, somehow. It's in you, but you can't get it out. So you hope the 5% will get it out for you and help you. So, the personality, marketing, that's how I grew so fast. And the funny thing is, my brokerage was all Black straight 4 years. I had the only all Black brokerage in New England. Wow. Successful all Black brokerage, right? Like moving, like numbers, right? So that's another fact. And it's not like it was not a blueprint. I don't want all Black people working with me. No, it just happened, and it was something special. It was something special, especially when we took our group photos. It was just something special.
Definitely. What kind of volume are you guys doing these days?
So commission wise, last year I gave $1 million in commission away.
Wow.
$1 million in commission. I care about commission. How much money I'm giving away, how many lives I'm changing financially. And I'll tell you another fact. A lot of the agents that's you have a big brokerage, just like any brokerage, everyone's not moving homes. Just to be honest, right? Everyone's not doing very well, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the top 6, 7, they are flipping. They are buying investment properties for their children. They are like literally following my footsteps, right? And I'm not saying, they wouldn't do it if I was in their broker, they'll do it regardless. But I love the fact that they don't want to be the number one agent, because let's be honest, real estate, my job is to give away wealth. My job is to find wealth and find someone to buy wealth. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So now they're saying, I'm going to find my own wealth. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to purchase it. That's what I really love about my company. And most of them are females. Most of them are females flipping homes, buying investment homes, and they single. Come on. Come on, man.
Love it. Do you find that being a broker, do you find that there's an advantage as far as like finding your own deals?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, because a lot of the agents will call you and say, hey, this is what I have. Do you want to do or not? So, of course, yeah. Yeah, definitely. But being an agent as well, it's both. Being in the industry point blank.
Definitely. Awesome. Can you talk to us more about just the investments? I know you've made like more investments over the years, and this is actually the first guest we've had, I'm pretty sure, from the Boston market, out of like 100-something episodes. So tell us more about the Boston market too, because I honestly don't think people are that aware of it, and I would love to get your take on it.
So Boston market is crazy.
No pun intended.
It is. Yeah, it's like, look, our 3-family homes, that's 3 units, and the Boston market is going from it average 1.1. Wow. Right now, people, oh my God, that's crazy. I would never buy a house for 1.1. And I always ask, so everyone that's listening, you should never care about what a home costs. That's not even important. You only should care about what rents are you getting? How much money are you making? Now, if you buy a home for 1.1 in Boston, think about it. It saves around $6,000. Just throwing it out there, the numbers, taxes, insurance, everything included. Say $6,000, right? In Boston, 333, 3 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms. Remember I said a 3-family. You getting 3,000, 3,000, 3. That's $9,000.
Wow.
Now, are you making $3,000 at work doing nothing? That's the question I ask. So when you say, oh my God, $1 million, I would never buy that. Why? Why wouldn't you? Right? So that's the Boston market. It's the numbers are crazy, right? We never seen this a day in our life where the market is high, rents are high, and the interest rates are low. It's the best formula to buy. It's a no-brainer. Pandemic, the government was raising the government assistance program like sky. It raised like about 4 times. While people was panicking, the government was doing something that no one's seen. It's like, you know what? That person on government assistance for that 3-bedroom, we now gonna pay $300 more.
Are you looking for a community of like-minded individuals and access to experts in real estate?
Yeah.
Are you interested in real estate but need more support and guidance?
You know who it is?
The Black Real Estate Dialogue presents the Real Estate Investing Community. No matter how much or how little real estate experience you have, we've created a community for you because your perspective is important. All right, tell me, where's the number one place where you can do Q&A with experienced guest speakers 2 times per month? How about unlimited access to past guest speakers' recordings? What about a private Slack channel to engage in daily discussion with everybody in the community to share resources and support each other? Head on over to blackrealestatedialogue.com. That's blackrealestatedialogue.com. It's the real estate investing community presented by the Black Real Estate Dialogue. Come join us today.
Let's drop the rates as well. Well, we know the price is going to go up. Let it just keep going up. Think about that. I know you have millions of people listening. I think they really need to understand that equation, because it's something called logic and it's something called emotional, right? Emotional is, oh, $1 million is too much. Logic is, how much I want to make, and how much does it cost? How much does it cost monthly? I'm in. That's logic.
Definitely.
You know?
Definitely. And how have you seen the market change since you first started investing, or even since you were a kid? Like, how have you seen like where you grew up change and stuff?
Huge change. So are we talking about numbers? Where you want me to go?
I'd say numbers, and also like just what, for example, where you grew up, your neighborhood you grew up in, like how have you seen it change, just like in terms of people, and then also numbers too.
It was horrible. Where I grew up in Phil's Corner, was a dangerous area. Today, it's so diverse. In that area, it's improved. It's more, I feel, Caribbean. It's just real diverse, right? It's like a real small New York with like everything, and small Brooklyn with everything is in it, all in one. You got every race, numbers wise. Again, my mom bought that home for $35,000. In 06, that's when numbers went crazy. And then 08, that's when the numbers went back down. And that's when we was doing a lot of short sales. Short sales was popping. Short sales, everyone's doing short sales. A short sale is, again, when you're upside down on your mortgage, the bank will allow you to do a short sale. Like, all right, you know what? You owe me $10, right? But your house is worth $5. Sell your house for $5 and we'll call it a truce, right? Sometimes some banks will still want that $5, but a lot of the 90% of the banks say, you know what, just walk away, right? That's when I got into real estate. Then from 08, it just kept picking up, and here we are today. But one thing is for sure is the rates played a huge part in where the market is. Like the market, we were seeing. I help a client get a loan for 1.37. A woman, right? Single woman, bought a multifamily. Just think about that. 1.37 buying a multifamily. It's no brainer. This is where the market's going. And now her rents are sky high. Right. Because of the government, right? And then in the city of Boston, it's impossible not to have a home. It's like you would have to say, I don't want a home in the city of Boston. Like the city of Boston force you to be a homeowner. You don't want to be a homeowner? You sure? We'll give you this money. You sure you don't want to be a homeowner? We'll give you money to fix it too. You sure? We'll cover the closing costs. You sure? You still sure? And that's the city of Boston. The city of Boston, don't let no one fool you. The city of Boston is one of the easiest cities to become a homeowner, hands down. And that type of equity the equity grows so rapidly in the city of Boston. You buy a home today for 500,000. Next year, that home could be worth 600,000, and you could take 75% of the equity. So you taking $75,000 out. You could go ahead and do it again and do it again and do it again. It's a no-brainer.
Definitely. So it sounds like there's like different programs and stuff that assist people with paying for down payment and closing costs in Boston.
Different, bro. Too many. It's hard to be homeless. Homeless is a choice. I'm sorry I sound like Kanye, but homeless is a choice in the city of Boston, and that's the truth. That's the truth. It's programs. Right now we have a program called the ADU program, right? Mm-hmm. City of Boston will allow you, say you have an apartment, say you own this apartment. They say, you know what? I'm gonna give you $50,000 to split the apartment in half, and you could rent the other side.
What? Wow.
Oh, you got a basement? You got 7 foot? Yeah, I got 7 foot ceilings. I'm gonna give you $50,000 to turn your basement into a unit, but you have to rent it. You have an attic? Yeah, I got an attic. I give you $50,000 to turn your attic into a unit, but you have to rent it. So if you have a friend that lives in Boston and they renting, you're a fool, bro. I spoke to Alex Edwards. He told me what you're not doing. Like, you look him in his face, like, oh, I got something to watch. I want you to watch this. Right? It's just, and I can't front on the city. They're doing a great job when it comes to home ownership. They are. No one can take that from the city of Boston.
Definitely. Well, I'm glad you brought that up and gave us a breakdown of the real estate landscape out there. I mean, I think that's amazing. Just that there's so many programs and so many incentives for people to be homeowners. I think that's great.
You can look it up, and that's why that's why I wrote the book Mortgage Before Marriage. It's important to get with these programs, to apply for these programs when you're single, because when your income come together, a lot of times these programs don't work anymore. You make too much money, right? You as a man, you get your home with using these programs. Your woman, or if you're dating a man, your partner, boom, get that home. Now, if you win $1 million, they don't kick you out just because you use a program to get a home. They don't kick you out. So what this means, all right, well, I'm just going to buy more investments and live here. It's almost like living in the projects, but buying investment homes. That's what I'm explaining in my book. It's like, look, let's focus on finances and love later. Like, love's gonna come. Which one is easy, my man? Which one you think is easier? To earn $1 million or to find love?
Earn $1 million or find love?
Yeah,
find love.
So why do we chase love? Well, we should be chasing $1 million. That's hard. We know why we chase $1 million. We're going to fall in love a couple of times. But a lot of us chase the love and don't chase the million. Mortgage before marriage, finances before fiance, Rockefeller before Beyonce, bro.
I like that.
It's a no-brainer, and a lot of people, finance is the second reason why people get divorces, like cheating, finances. That's it. So if we focus on our finances, we're going to stay married. We have a better chance to stay married. So if I do what I have to do and my wife do what she has to do, we good. we good, you know? So yeah.
Definitely. And something else I read is that you're planning to build, I believe, 3 condos in your own neighborhood. Can you tell us more about that? I think that's really cool, man.
I'm not planning on building it. I built it.
Oh, they're already built.
Oh yeah, I built it.
Oh, tell us about that.
Oh, I built it. And you want this is we talking about history, right? The condominium association name is the Carter J. Edwards condominium. History, baby. History is it's in. They cannot change the name ever. My son is in. It will forever be here. Like that's powerful to me. It gets me emotional all the time, right? So built 3 condos in the neighborhood I grew up in, and again, I love marketing, so it was from the neighborhood, building a neighborhood project, that I came up with, and with a partner. His name is Patrick Tarjay, right? Sorry, Tarjay. And we decided to build these three homes. Phenomenal. I love these projects, and what I did, and this is a gem drop for everyone that's listening. I want to be a developer. So the easiest way to become a developer and to make something special is to copy everybody else, right? You say, all right, well, this developer has 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. I'm going to copy that. They sold it for $600,000. All right, cool. So then you do what everyone stopped doing, right? Then you say, all right, well, this developer had a dining room, but no one's doing dining rooms anymore, So you say, all right, I'm going to put a dining room in my development. Since everyone stopped doing it, I'm going to put my thing. So then the last thing you do is do what no one else will think of doing. That special sauce you bring to the game, right? So now I'm going to put pot fillers. I'm going to put fireplaces. I'm going to put special transitions from tile to wood. I'm going to put built-in real closets. I'm going to put I'm going to put a family room in the basement. So it's not going to be a basement. I want you to utilize the basement as one unit. So you have a townhouse inside of a 3-family, right? So we did all of that. We finally done. Going through COVID, we finally done. And, our first open house is the 26th of March. Amazing. Ironically, a day after my son's birthday.
Wow. Amazing, man. This is wow. This has been a really dope interview. I just keep thinking about that moment in college where you tell your professor, hey, this is my homework. This is my homework assignment. I bought a house. And just different parts of the journey, going through the housing crisis and thankfully making it out and being able to find a way to fix the mortgage, and leaving the job at 23, becoming an agent, starting your own brokerage, getting to investing and flipping and building, and just continued growth over these 10 plus years. So, this has been super exciting episode, and a whole lot of gems, man.
Thank you so much.
Definitely.
You could do the same, bro. You could do the same. I don't know where you at. You probably have 4 or 5 homes, but no matter what, like, you definitely could do the same. I just believed in myself. That's the only difference. That's the only difference between me and the people I left at work.
Definitely.
That's the only difference. It was nothing else. It was nothing special. It was just gonna bet on myself. Again, wrote the book. Being a broker I love it. Buying homes is cool. But writing a book, that's cool too. That's cool. That's cool too. And then I could put all my secrets in it. That's pretty cool. And then in the book, and I push you to do this as well. Anyone in the book, I wrote a letter to my children, my mother, and my wife. If anything ever happened to me, they could always find the nearest bookstore and read what I wrote them. And read what I wrote them. You know, if they lose the will, if they lose a letter, just find the nearest bookstore. I got you. And this is for life, forever. So, yeah, man.
Love it. Love it. Awesome, man. So tell us more about anything else you have going on, your book, where people can buy it, where people can follow you, where people can follow what your brokerage is doing, just where people can tap into everything.
So my brokerage is Thumbprint Realty USA on Instagram, Thumbprint Realty on Facebook. And my name is Alex E. Edwards on all platforms. Every platform you could think of is Alex E. Edwards. And the book is, it's for women. You know, when a woman gets pregnant, they have to forget about their dreams. They gotta just relax, fall back. But we both laid down and had this child together, and I just felt like I don't need to be the voice. I don't need to be a voice for women because they don't need my voice. But even though they don't need me to hold the door open, I'm gonna hold the door open, right? And it's 20% of women in bad relationships that they can't afford to get out. Did you know that? 20% of women that don't want to be in a relationship, but they don't have enough money to get out. Why is that? Why is that? Why do you think, you know, society says, go to school to a woman, get a job, find a husband, have kids, stay home. That doesn't make sense. Now, this man is, oh yeah, I'm going to take care of you for life. That's what a man do. And when something goes wrong, resentment, he brings his resentment home. And then that woman's now the punching bag. All that resentment, oh, I'm doing all this, I'm doing all that, right? And even you know, in like, it's just a book to say, sister, I got you. I got you. You don't need this. You running real estate right now. You don't need no man. Like, focus on your money. Go get your money and be with someone you want to be with, not someone you need to be with. You know what I'm saying? Like, my dad left my mom with bills and all type of stuff. My mom is a survivor. She good. she's great, right? But just think about our sisters in these type of relationships because they had to put everything to the back because society pushed them, their parents pushed them. Mr. Right, think about that. Mr. Right. We never said go find Mrs. Right. Your mama or your daddy ever said, yo, you better go find Mrs. Right? No, they tell women, oh, you better wait for Mr. Right. You have to wait for Mr. Right. Like, nah, women, like, you are beautiful. We should be waiting on our knees for you. It should be a pleasure when a woman say, you know what, I'll marry you. You know what I'm saying? It should be a pleasure. Like, women and the only people could bring a human being into this, like, this world, carry. Like, you and I can't do that. So how can we say we are stronger than them? How? How? My business blew up when I hired more women. That's straight up. And I'm like, yo, it's a wrap. Like, this book, where I'm at in life, if I could just speak to women every single day, a group of women, and just talk to them and just tell them how I feel and tell them why I wrote this book and all these exercises I gave them, all to look through all our BS that we're gonna run game, all that. Just look through all that. Don't worry about it. This book gonna set you free. You're gonna get your money. You're gonna get your credit up. Like, credit is king. In my book, it says credit is queen. You know what I'm saying? And it's this bulletproof vest of words that I wrote for women. No, you could have love, you could have marriage, you could have a fiance, but I want you to take care of you first. Once you could love you, you could love someone else. Once you could love your finances, you could love someone else's finances. You could love your mortgage. Okay, go love someone else's mortgage, but don't put yourself second ever again. That's what the book's about.
Love it. There you have it, folks. There you have it. Man, Alex, again, really appreciate you coming on the show. Whole lot of game. Definitely looking forward to putting this out, man.
No problem, bro. And thank you for having me. I'm just making my rounds, and you could have said no, but you said yes. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Of course, my pleasure, man. My pleasure. And thank you to everyone for listening to another episode of the Black Real Estate Dialogue podcast. Again, if you haven't already, please take a moment to subscribe, leave us a 5-star rating and review. Thank you so much. I look forward to hearing from you all soon.
Hi, everyone. Sam here from the Black Real Estate Dialogue. Make sure to hit that notification bell and that subscribe button, and to visit us at blackrealestatedialogue.com.